Could today's morning bloodbath in the stock market prove to be the great overreaction? Again, it is very interesting to see what Dan Bird and I called yesterday the bloody Monday morning actually coming to bear. But I am sitting here at 7:30 a.m. Pacific thinking if by the end of the day it was all for naught. Now, again, of course, we're all just guessing. It's just a big game out there. But let me just tell you what I think might be going on. So first, obviously, we had the announcement of tariffs on Canada, Mexico, and China. Guys, did you know that they are actually not enforced just yet? As I understand it, they will be enforced 9 p.m. Pacific or 12 midnight Eastern tonight. That's a big deal. Why is that a big deal? Because I have to suspect that Canada and Mexico at least are actively trying to work out a resolution. Now, you got to remember, at least in my opinion, with China and Mexico, this is not a trade war. This is a drug war. I believe what President Trump is trying to do is get help with fentanyl and other drug things that are coming across our border. Now, if that is true, what would need to happen? Well, really kind of simple. Mexico, Canada step up. They put more people at the borders. They agree to raid drug houses. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to think that a quick resolution and progress and all of that could happen today, right? All of that could happen today. And then sometime in the next 8 to 10 to 12 hours, President Trump comes out and says, we have agreement from Canada and Mexico to attack the drug this, the drug that, this, the that, the other. Tariffs canceled. It's possible. It is absolutely possible. Folks, as I highlighted for you yesterday in the Daily Financial News, we need to stop overreacting to any single data points because there is a big game of chess being played, and you and I don't see all the pieces. We don't understand the players, and we don't understand the moves. Now, of course, I could be wrong. It could go entirely the other way. What could happen? Well, we slap 25% on. They slap 25. We have an escalation clause, and pretty soon, full-blown trade war. Absolutely possible. And all of that could happen today. Something that could happen today is at 9 p.m. Pacific, tariffs go into effect. Canada and Mexico reply. And by the time we all wake up tomorrow, full-blown trade war. Don't know. We've got to step back. But again, it'll be very interesting to see if the market reverses this ugly open. It was interesting to look at crypto yesterday, getting just taken out to the woodshed. I don't understand why people are still on leverage in crypto. It's apparently billions and billions of dollars were liquidated. Again, folks, the first 90 days is going to be chaotic. It is going to be complete chaos, and we should not assume that we understand. It's just being played at a level that we are not a part of. The other thing I did notice this morning is the 10-year note went down. It's down to 4.5. This is likely because of the safety play. Again, it was threatening, 4.75 or something seemingly a month ago. So again, a lot of stuff going on, a lot of stuff that we should not overreact to single items, right? There is a bigger game afoot. I do want to highlight a very important video that went out yesterday that I think most of you missed. It was actually Jason Pritchard, Scott, and I talking about Scott's journey from unpaid intern to business partner. That conversation with Jason Pritchard and Scott was probably the most meaningful video I have done in the past year or so. I ask you to watch it. I ask you to take lots of notes because I think there were 10 possibly 15 golden nuggets in that video. I expect that video with Scott and Jason, again, I think it's titled He Almost Quit His Dream, is one of those videos you may want to save in a playlist or replay or whatever it's called, because there is a lot of value in that video. It is hard. And you're going to hear from a young man, Scott, who almost gave up a couple of times on his dream. This is a young man who at one point went to become a busser at a restaurant to keep his dream alive. This is a young man who had to get lonely. He had to break up with his girlfriend, who ultimately becomes his wife, because he didn't have time. There is so much wisdom with Scott and Jason in that conversation. Please bookmark it. Go get it. It's one of those videos that I will look at a lot. And then finally, you'll hear about a 7-figure opportunity that they uncovered, $7 million profit opportunity they uncovered because of a virtual assistant in the Philippines. Wild story. So again, take a look at that. We do have a lot of earnings coming out this week. Today, after hours, we will get Palantir. Tuesday, we will get PayPal, Chipotle, PepsiCo, Snap, Google, Simon Properties, AMD. Wednesday, we'll get Uber, Disney, and Ford. Thursday, Amazon, Affirm, Hilton, and Peloton. Again, what is going on with the consumers? What is going on with travel? What is going on with technology? Interesting report from a Texas home builder, new home builder. This was a quote. Oh man, I forgot to cite the source. John Burns Real Estate Consulting. This is they surveyed home builders. I'm surprised at how deep folks went to move finished inventory. Apparently, in some of the new home subdivisions, they were not advertising 4.99. They were not advertising 3.99 mortgage rates. They were actually advertising 2.99 interest rate. Now, again, I don't know if these are still out there, but apparently at the end of or in December, if you were looking for a new home in Texas, you could have gotten a mortgage rate sub 3%. Wow. I thought I did good getting 4.99. Little did I know you could go lower. JP Morgan is out talking about what a sustained tariff on Mexico and Canada would do. And the answer is not pretty. The answer is it would likely send both Mexico and Canada into a recession. Again, this is the negotiation power of the American economy. Tom Lee is out basically saying, buy the dip, folks, buy the big effing dip. He thinks the markets are overreacting. He thinks this is just another Monday freakout like last week. This is Tom Lee's opinion. Again, I don't give financial advice, but that's what Tom Lee is saying. He does say that Bitcoin could have a lot more pain in February. He thinks Bitcoin might see $70,000. Woo! Ouch! 70 grand. I saw a tweet the other day that it looks like Department of Government Efficiency is currently saving $1 billion a day. $1 billion a day. And apparently, again, this is what I read, there's line of sight for $4 billion a day. I think all of us should hope we get there. Why is $4 billion a day interesting? Well, because if you understand our current spending, we are about $2 trillion on the wrong side. This is what I call bending the curve. If Doge is successful and they ultimately get to $4 billion a day, what does that mean? Well, if you amortize that out over 365 days, folks, we get to $1.46 trillion. Let's call it 1.5 between friends. Then if we do have tariffs on China and other, specific items, and that raises revenue, we could get to a point where we are truly bending the curve. Why is that important? Why should you and I hope that we could bend the curve on this unsustainable debt? Very, very simple. Do you want lower rates? Do you want lower rates? The best way we can get lower rates is really twofold. One is to lower inflation expectations. And again, I think oil, $60 oil is key number one. Key number two is getting the world to believe that the U.S. Government is not running us into the ground and causing an empire to collapse. If we can go from a $2 trillion budget deficit to a positive number, even if it's a tiny positive number, that will lower the risk premium, or what is sometimes called the term premium. That's a massive deal. You want mortgage rates to have a 5 handle? Kill inflation, kill the term premium. Boom. You want mortgage rates to have a 4 handle? Kill inflation, kill the term premium. It is that simple. I do want to shout out, if you're interested in co-living, or sometimes called rent by the room, we seem to be putting together a rock star team inside school. You will see a video coming out later today from a gentleman named Michael. You will see, we obviously have Jared and Sean just joined. Lots of folks inside school that are going after room by rent. Again, you could join school. They will, I can only imagine, a accountability group forming. Jared, for example, only has 3 units and he grossed $20,000 in, I think it was January. So pretty wild. 20,000 gross, 8K net, I think was the number. So lots of value there. I read an interesting article about baby boomers, specifically those over 65. 65 and older now make up 7% of the total workforce, up from about 5% a decade ago. The folks that are over 65 and working jumped 33%. Now, some of this could be because they want to. My fear is because they have to. And there is a very different story in that. Looked like Trump gave the Fed a compliment. We've often heard President Trump go after Jerome Powell and his cronies. But President Trump said holding rates steady last week was the right thing to do. I agree. U.S. ISM January manufacturing, folks, great news. Great news. Manufacturing in the United States is finally growing again after 26 months of contraction. U.S. manufacturing is now growing. It came in at 50.9. Again, any number over 50 is growth. Below 50 is contraction. Again, we had been contracting in manufacturing for 26 months. Let's celebrate another win. Growing manufacturing in the U.S. is a good thing, not a bad thing. U.S. construction spending also up month on month. It went up 0.5%. Last month, it was 0. So again, interesting stuff. Last thing I will talk about is Barnes & Noble. Barnes & Noble, frankly, I didn't even know Barnes & Noble existed anymore. Shame on me. But apparently Barnes & Noble is planning to open 60 new stores in 2025 as the TikTok generation craves physical books. Yes, the TikTok generation wants physical books. Pretty wild to think about, folks. Again, do me a favor, join school. We are putting on that event in Vegas. You can get your virtual tickets on Eventbrite, $99. It will get you access to the replay, which again is extremely valuable. Go get your virtual tickets, $99. Join school. We are doing some amazing things. And lastly, I just hope you have a great day. I hope you smile. I hope you make some memories. Take care. Have fun. We will talk to you tomorrow, 7:30 a.m. Peace.